Let us create a scatter chart. So we will choose profit, sales, and the moment you choose two measures, you notice that it automatically creates a scatter chart for you where I can see sales and profit on the X and the Y axis. There is a single dot that tells you the aggregated value of profit and sales. Now, obviously, we want to break this down into different customer names. So if I keep my customer name as my detail, then every single customer becomes a single dot. But we'll keep this a little simple for now. So I want to keep my country in my detail and I can see all the countries like this. Now you notice that a lot of these countries are bucketed together, and maybe for our analysis we only want to view the countries that are over 250,000. For this we can right click on sales, click on show filter, and I can simply move this to select the range that I want. So I want 250,000 and above, and as you can see it is only showing us these 12 marks right now. What else can we do? In the size option we can drag our sales amount, and you notice that the size changes a little bit. To make it even more emphatic, you can increase the slider and the bubble size changes a little bit more. You can also click on mark and then change it to a circle if you want to. Go to color, decrease the opacity, and then add a border. This is similar to how we had done it when we were working with the map. And as you can see, when I move my slider, it shows me a larger or a smaller number of bubbles. So for now, I want to look at this range between 250,000 and 2.29 million. Now that we understand the basics, let's keep country out and let's keep customer name in detail. And again, you notice that it looks a little odd right now, but we can decrease the size. And more importantly, we only want to focus on a specific area. For example, I want to keep my profit as a filter as well. And I want to say that only show me the customers who are profitable. So we'll keep this range as starting at 0. And now it is only telling us that these are the customers that are profitable. And if I keep on increasing my profit threshold, you notice that it is eliminating the customers who are below that certain mark. For example, if I say that I only want to see the customers over 5,000 as profit, there are only these customers. Let's go back to where we were. So let's make this, let's say 2,500, and I'll make the sales value about, let's say 25,000. So what is it showing us? It is showing us that these are the only customers whose profit is between 2,500 and 8,600 and the sales amount is greater than 25,000. Once we have done this on analytics, we have cluster which we can drag and drop inside the visual just like we did with forecasting. And then either we allow it to choose automatic clusters or we can even choose the number of clusters we want. For example, if I say 3 or if I say 4, it decides how many clusters we want and plots the same number on our visual. So as you can see, if I choose 5, it is telling me that there are 5 clusters that my customers can be broken down into. So the clusters can be seen here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you want to view only a specific cluster, you can just click on that and it will highlight that particular cluster. If you want to use the cluster as a proper filter, you notice that a new dimension has been created called cluster, which should appear in your table. But you notice that you can't really see it here. Now this is a little tricky. A lot of people say that when we have created the clusters, why does it not appear in our fields? The reason is because it is not a part of your original table. To do this, you will drag clusters from the mark and then move it into your field pane, and you notice Now customer name clusters has now become a part of your fields. And this is great because I can right click and then show filter. So the filter comes here. We will change the filter type to a single value dropdown. And as you can see, I can look at different customer clusters like this. Like we had done earlier, we can even add reference lines. So right click on the x-axis, add a reference line, and we can choose a constant. And let's say our constant right now is 25,000. Do remember that the reference line can also be formatted quite a bit. So if I edit it, you notice I can change the thickness of the line in case you want to make it more prominent. You can even choose a different color. And you can also decide to fill above and below like we had done earlier. Maybe I want to fill everything. In fact, it should be the other way around. So I'll say that anything which is below, or rather on the left, will be colored as red. And now my final visual looks like this, which is great because the user will not be bothered by that blank area on the left side. Like we have done, we can add a reference line for the y-axis as well. And the same thing, we say that this is a constant and we want to choose 2500 as our profit value. Increase the thickness, and this becomes the top right quadrant that we want the users to focus on. Now, if I put segment in columns, we can again break our visual into different parts like this.